Hey, what's up guys? My name's Josh. I've been playing Bedwars for a fairly long time. In that time, I've learned quite a lot. So here are my tips and tricks for getting better at Bedwars. Now, of course, bridging is one of the most important things in Bedwars. If you don't bridge properly, it can cost you an entire game. That's why you need to learn a bridging method very fast in your career. On screen now are some of the most popular bridging methods out there. I can kind of diagonally god bridge a little bit, but not really. I've kind of mastered speed bridging. By the way, the reason my FPS went up so high is because I was lip spamming, so don't think I have an auto clicker. It's important to know while bridging that high ground is key, so be sure to build up a little bit periodically while bridging. If you don't and your opponent gets above you, then they'll have an opportunity to jump down and hit you off of your bridge and get your bet. A little side note is to learn how to block clutch. You may hear me say that and think, wow, that's really hard to do, but it's not really. Personally, I started playing the bridge a little bit and I learned it almost immediately. When starting out, you're probably gonna only know how to flat bridge, which is fine, but you're gonna wanna learn how to speed bridge very quickly. I'll leave a couple links in the description to some tutorials on YouTube, so be sure to check those out. So clients kind of pertain to literally every other Minecraft minigame on Hypixel or any other server, I suppose. But I thought I'd quickly add it here so people can see it. If you don't know what clients are, they're basically launchers that you can do extra things on. For example, on the Badlion client and Lunar client, you can buy cosmetics on them both, but you can only see each other's cosmetics if you have the specific client. If you have a computer that doesn't get a lot of FPS, then I'd suggest using the Lunar client because there are a lot of FPS how the frick do you say that? Attributes. There we go. Personally, I have a pretty good computer when it comes to Minecraft FPS, so I use Badlion. There are a couple other clients you can use, but those are the two main big ones. If you're wondering, clients are free, so if you want one, just get one. Alright, on to the next thing. This is a very important one. The first things you're going to want to buy are wool and a stone sword. Those purchases very heavily rely on what map you're on. If you're on a slow iron map like Sky Show, ditch the stone sword and only buy wool. With gold purchases, if you're on a slow iron map, you're going to want to buy a golden apple. Actually, scratch that. On every map, you're going to want to buy a golden apple. They are extremely useful because after your first encounter, you're going to be kind of low. And once you get their bed, they're going to respawn and you're going to want to kill them again. So you're going to have to chug down a golden apple to regain some of your health. If you're not able to buy a golden apple, then be sure to get the diamonds like I do here and go back to your base and buy whatever you can. If you're playing duos with a friend, coordinate an attack where you buy TNT and he buys a gap, or the other way around, and the person with the TNT goes in front and drops it on the bed as fast as they can. The person with the TNT should be able to protect you while you're breaking the bed, and then while he's doing that, eat a gap and finish off the people. While I'm talking about what you should buy, I might as well talk about keybinds. You should probably get used to keybinds fairly early on. Some other things you should buy are iron armor, shears, and a fireball. You should always buy iron armor over chainmail. Chainmail is useless. It's only good if somebody's right at your base and you're being rushed hard. In that case, you should buy it to have a little bit of armor to defend yourself. When you're new to the game, you're probably going to do this thing called fireball spamming, which is basically just spamming fireballs at people to kill them, but that's not going to help your whole career. Finally, shears, they really just help with getting the bed and defense. Now we're on to buying upgrades, which is a bit trickier. If you have 4 diamonds on your first rush, then I'd highly suggest getting sharpened swords. If you don't and you only have 2 diamonds, then I'd suggest getting the prot. One thing to note is to never get alarm trap, okay? Never get it. Get the mining fatigue trap, it helps a lot. While we're on the topic of buying stuff, I might as well talk about bed defenses. Don't spend a lot of time and resources on bed defenses. A simple wool bed defense will suffice, but at the same time, make a wool bed defense. Don't just leave your bed bare bones. You want to have something on it. Potions are really cool too. If you only have 2 M's, then I'd recommend only buying speed and jump. However, if you have 4 M's, then buy speed, jump, and invis. PvP is a very stressful thing to talk about because there's so many different ways you can go about it, but there are a couple specific ways you can go about it while playing Bedwars. One way is when a player is coming at you, place a block in front of them and you'll be able to hit them off the edge or just get a good strafe on them. To practice this, you can go into UHC duels, which you'll find in the duels lobby. To practice strafing or comboing, you can go into a classic duels game, which you're seeing right now. There's this really cool thing you can do on a diagonal bridge called block trapping. You may have seen Technoblade do it a couple of times, but it's basically where you place 3 blocks in kind of an L shape, but a upward facing L. It's kind of hard to explain. Block trapping is also when you break a block in front of someone and place 2 blocks where the hole is. So then while they're running at you, they jump into the 2 blocks and fall into the hole. It's super satisfying when this happens, so I'd recommend trying it. This video is getting a little too long, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. If you want a part 2, then be sure to comment.